seconds. 8, 7.
Okay, Birdie, you can do the talking.
5.
No, you, you're,
Hmm?
you're the smart off stage, Frank.
Hello, I'm Russell Blackwood, the Artistic Director of Thrill Peddlers. We're here at Photo Call tonight for our latest show, Hot Greeks. It's a revival of the 1972 musical by the Cockettes. For the past 3 years, we've been reviving Cockette shows. We started off with Pearls Over Shanghai, which ran for 22 months. Next, it was Hot Greeks, but in a much more condensed version, about an hour and 10-minute show. Now it's a full-length show.
Pandora, lovely Pandora.
Don't talk to me.
A full 2-act version of Hot Greeks that both brings back characters that were cut from the 1972 production when we last did it, but also brings in new songs by composer and original Cockette Scrumbly Caldwell.
I started with the Cockettes the very first evening, which was New Year's Eve 69 to 70. And luckily I'm still alive. After all.
It was one of the last shows we did within the last 6 months. We played this show for just 2 weekends, Friday and Saturday, but it was probably seen by about close to 5,000 people.
There's lots of great swing music in it, some beautiful Busby Berkeley-esque fantasy ballads, love songs in it. All by Scrumbly Caldwell, all under this twinge of the high school movie musical of the 30s and 40s.
Martin Warman had done some writing for other shows, written some songs and so forth, and since Link had written Pearls Over Shanghai, Martin got to do his thing with Hot Greeks. You know, he was the only Cockette who had actually had 4 years of college at that point.
Hot Greeks is based on Aristophanes' ancient Greek comedy called Lysistrata. In Aristophanes' play, of course, it's war that the women are protesting against. But in Hot Greeks, the cheerleaders at Athens University are upset about the big game and the fact that none of their boyfriends, who they're pinned to, by the way, and putting out for, none of them are paying any attention to the ladies. So the ladies decide they're giving back their pins and going on a sex strike.
Don't you want my pin?
Of course I do, you big palooka.
Hot Greeks starts with the end of a tragedy, but ends up being comedy the whole rest of the night. I play Mata Dildos, who's the Oracle of Delphi, that Lysistrata and her friend Leda and Socrates go to find out how they can stop the big game.
Wait a minute! I said hold on, honey! Oh, yes, you're Oracle!
Hot Greeks is performed live on stage at Thrill Peddlers Hypnodrome, 575 10th Street, between Bryant and Division in San Francisco. The show runs Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 8 o'clock, starting March 22nd. Tickets are available at brownpapertickets.com or by calling 800-838-3006.
Hold on to that ball and fight, 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 fight. Acropolis is ours tonight. Hot Greeks!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Drag Show. I'm Stu Smith, and with me tonight are Birdie Bob Watts and Bobby Singer, two of the stars, or co-stars, or participants in this miraculous revival of a great Cockettes musical from 1970 or thereabouts. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
So, opens 22nd in preview.
March 22nd.
March 22nd. How have you guys played this role before, in this production before?
Well, Birdie's one of the stars. I'm just one of the chorus boys, and we both were in the 2010 production.
Okay. And Birdie, you were not in the original in 1970.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. You look way too young to have been even around then.
That's
you know,
very kind of you.
I try and be honest, believe it or not. So what do you expect this time around?
Well, when we did it back in 2010, we did actually 3 different
pieces, and we did sort of a truncated version of this, and so this is sort of an elongated version of the original Hot Greeks, which is based on Lysistrata, an old Greek Peloponnesian drama about sort of the war, and the women withhold their wifely duties from the men for the men to then stop war. And we've kind of brought that forward into the 1940s and college life and football, and instead of an actual war, it's a rivalry between Athens University and Sparta. And of course the cheerleaders are tired of the football players all getting so wrapped up in the game that they feel ignored, so they decide that they're going to give back the pins and withhold their affections from the football players until the game is decided, and it all sort of unwinds from there.
Or gains momentum and turns into an incredible thriller, you know?
Well, it's interesting. Certainly the sexual politics, looking at how we moderns view the war between the sexes, and certainly how that was viewed in the 1940s when roles were very regimented, and going back to ancient Greece when, you know, it was even more polarized than the 1940s. But there's, you know, looking at the way that plays through, and even today is still there's a lot of gender roles that we think are really assigned to one or the other, and you know.
There's nothing quite as effective as withholding.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, that's the timeless quality of it. But it's really it's such a great lavish production. You know, the music and the costuming and the choreography. It just all comes together as this big, effusive bundle of energy. Now, what role will you be playing, Bobby?
I play one of the 3 column / chorus boys.
Okay.
So we're the spin-off of the Greek chorus. And for me, it's a great opportunity to sing original music directed by the composer, who's Scrumbly, who plays with us every night. So that's really the exciting part for me.
He's quite an amazing guy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done other theater work with Cockettes?
Well, I've been working...
Pardon me, the Thrill Peddlers.
Thrill Peddlers,
Yeah.
which have been doing a lot of Cockettes revivals. And I was involved in the production of Pearls and Vice Palace, which just closed. And all 3 of them a little different. And as I said, in 2010, this was done as a one act, followed by a sort of a floor show of a bunch of different numbers from different shows, followed by a sort of a truncated version of Vice Palace. So, and that was kind of exciting too, because you really got a wide overview of all the different ways that the Cockettes invented the material, presented different things, different ideas that were important to them.
Were you able to go to New York?
I did,
Can you talk a little
that
bit
was
about
exciting.
that experience?
That well, the Martin Warman and his writings were they had an event at the Lincoln Center Library. All of his stuff has been archived. So there was a panel discussion and some performances of his work that was done at the Lincoln Center, and then we were part of the Howell Festival and did the St. Mark's Theater for 2 nights. Their Vice Palace, sort of a concert version of that, and that was fun to be in a new space and very complete theater in the village. And also, I felt that it was fun to perform for the New York crowd who got the references to Warhol, to Pucci, to all of those, all of those elements.
That must have been really exciting.
It was well received, as well as I felt that they understood culturally what it's about. And Vice Palace was about the Mask of the Red Death, where a bunch of people sequester into an Italian villa to escape the plague that's in the countryside. So there's sort of the privileged creative side of things, very Fellini. All the big people are, and the peasantry is all excluded because the doors are locked to sort of protect the creative and the beautiful people from what's happening outside.
But ultimately, they kind of rebel within.
Well, there's a lot of rebellion, plus what they're thinking that they're safe from finds its way in anyhow. Of course.
Yeah.
So
excellent.
it's
excellent work. Well, what role are you playing in this production?
In Hot Greeks, I'm actually playing the Martin's role, which is Myron. I play the obviously gay art teacher who, of course, is into carving all of those naked classical statues that we associate with the Greek period, and that's pretty much it.
You do music.
I'm actually in this production. I'm playing some saxophone, and that's kind of fun. Of the band changes size. There's a drummer as well, so it's really quite sophisticated. It's not just a piano, that sort of a thing.
You, Scrumbly, and others.
And Steve is playing drums. So it's quite nice, as well as the music is all mostly taken from a sort of 1940s, jive, kind of feel to it. So it's quite hummable, quite singable. It's there's a few pieces that are a little bit more traditional, I guess, considering that the original work is Aristophanes from 4 BC or
a little while
whenever,
ago.
a long time ago. So it's not necessarily that the music is drawn off of 4 BC. It's mostly drawn from the 1940s, swing and hap and
Sounds very much like Scrumbly.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's really an amazing guy, just amazing. Well, Bobby, have you done theater before this, or?
I did a long time ago, but I hadn't done anything in years before the 2010 production of Hot Greeks, and I landed in that by coincidence, really. And then I was able to step into a couple of roles in Pearls for a while, and it's been great fun for me.
So did you both find it kind of by happenstance, or, Thrill Peddlers, or did you know about it? Apparently it's been around for a while, but it wasn't on my radar, certainly, until Pearls Over Shanghai.
I believe the group is in their 20th year.
Yeah.
A lot of what they've done over that period of time has been Grand Guignol, the mid 19th century French blood and guts theater to sort of be shocking, and at a certain juncture Russ decided to sort of work with Scrumbly and doing a lot of revival of the Coquettes, sort of under the idea of also the theater of the ridiculous. So that sort of brought an interest, and that's been going on for 3 years, or so now.
So Russ is Russell Blackwood, who I guess is the director, the kind of one of the heads of Thrill Peddlers Group, or
yeah, sort of the director and performer, sort of the artistic madman behind everything that the group does.
Very flattering.
Big Daddy.
Big
Yeah,
Daddy.
definitely.
So how many people are in the whole cast, or the ensemble, or whatever you would call it?
20, would you say?
I think it's 23.
Because you run through, I mean, different people, it's not like having a stand-in or a study. I mean, people kind of can float through different parts over a run in Thrill Peddlers things that I've seen.
Well, that happened in Pearls, I think, because it was so long
long.
running. But the last production of Hot Greeks was just the single cast. Right?
Yeah, Pearls was a special thing in that there were definitely multiple people who were playing the same role, 5 or 6 people
Right.
playing the same role, sharing that role, because it was over such a long period of time, and then depending on availability, different people would come in and go out. And that's probably not going to be the case in this production. But Pearls did run for
21 months, I believe.
it's almost
22 months.
Yeah, almost 2 years. So that's quite a long time to have a cast hang together. But it also made it quite exciting in that there were 6 or 7 different people who played Petrushka. There was I think 6, 7, or 8 people who played the 3 sisters, and some of them played all 3 sisters at different times. So it made it quite a family feeling, and I think that still goes on in that the troupe is really kind of a family of
Misfits.
misfits, sure.
It really does have a family feel to it. I mean, and a family that's going to stick together through thick and thin too.
Well, and then one of the exciting things about the space is that it's a very, very intimate experience.
It is.
So, going to see the shows there, if you have the mindset of being effusive and having a party and realizing that because it's such an intimate setting, that that your reaction of whether you gasp or you laugh or whatever really shapes what goes around you or is happening around you more than you do when you're in the 3rd balcony up there with your little
Shorenstein Hayes or whatever.
it's even though when you applaud, this is definitely something where if you go everyone on stage notices that, and you become then part of the action whether or not you want to be sometimes.
Well, what's your background in theater and music and all of this, Birdie?
Oh, I've been goodness in a few different companies over the years. I worked in my younger days over in the East Bay at the Willows and Civic Arts, which I think is now the regional center, and a lot of small little out of the way theaters that I think have folded in the modern economics.
You searched so hard for a
Well, I
delicate
didn't
way of
want to.
saying
I didn't.
they folded, yeah.
It's interesting to see how the textures change. Certainly when I even starting doing things back in the 90s in San Francisco, it was easy to get a space. It was easy to find a warehouse and to put it all together. And ticket prices were not very expensive at that time because there was that availability. And then certainly through the dot-com boom and all that kind of stuff, real estate became such a premium that that the textures changed, as well as I think we've become a lot more. Oh, I don't know. I guess our palettes are a little bit higher in what people expect from a production. You know, where there's that. You know, you want to go and you want to see Les Mis with a barricade that falls over, or some sort of theater
or
trick.
something like Thrill Peddlers does with
Or
music,
Thrill Peddlers is
costuming,
always
a story that's
Corrections.
fun. Yeah, absolutely, all of the components. It's so well
certainly.
done. Well, why don't we take a peek at some of the pictures we've got here, and I'll ask you guys to tell me what they are. So, what that is, of course, I guess the promotional postcard or the poster itself for Hot Greeks. Who did the design on that? Do you know?
It was Flynn, I think.
Flynn, yeah.
Flynn
DeMarco?
Flynn DeMarco.
Okay, Flynn DeMarco,
And
another.
Jim did the
Thrill
artwork,
Peddlers.
right?
And Jim Jeske did the illustrative.
Okay,
Who also does some of our costumes.
okay.
And believe it or not, plays Socrates, a talking pig, in the production.
Is he related to anybody else in the production?
Jim?
Yeah,
I don't
I don't know.
think so.
I just
no.
thought he might be. Okay. All right. Well, let's go on to something else. That is.
Tom Orr playing Pendulum Pulaski, the star of the football team. And Pandora, played by Noah Hayden,
No, yeah.
the ingenue. And Lysistrata is Rick Lopes.
Okay, and next. Two of the people we saw on the
Sisters
last.
Pandora and Lysistrata.
Okay. And again, I think. Yeah. Well, I guess that was a quick run through what we wound up with. Thank you. So, what after Hot Greeks for you two?
Well, the Thrill Peddlers are in the summer months are going to be doing a production of Marat Sade, and so that's kind of on the horizon, and certainly the group is pretty fertile. With all the different things that it's doing, I'm sure they'll be doing. They do a creep show camp for kids
in the summer,
which is always fun. Usually organic production of some sort, written by the troops, and it's always fun to see.
Okay.
Them,
I went over our time.
oh, we did.
Sorry. Thank you.
Did you get
Don't-
the pictures?
Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Thanks.
You gotta press record.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all
I
right.
was not paying attention to the clock.
No, we're having a good.
I was listening. Yeah.
we're having a good conversation.